Good day, and today I'm going to be talking about cybersecurity award qualification for level 1. Today you will learn about cybercrime, and the main focus will be identifying different forms of cybercrime and possible motive, outline how cybercrime can affect individuals and organizations, and the third and the last one is describe the tactics cyber criminals use to defraud people. But before we go into each of these three learning outcomes, as you could see, there's some underlying keyword that will help you to complete your assessment at the end of this presentation. The keyword that was identified, which is identify different form of cybercrime and possible motive. Yeah, the keyword there is identify. What does the word identify mean? That you should be able to name or list. That's the word identify means. Outline, that is, you should focus on the main features and general ideas by defining key words. And the third one, which is describe, means you should focus by providing a detailed explanation about how and why specific things happened. So I really want you to take note of the key adjective word that has been underlined here: identify, outlines, and describe in terms of you completing the assessment of the activity 1. So what do you understand by cybercrime? A criminal activity carried out by means of a computer network or a network device via the internet. These cyber criminals uses cybercrime to make profit and causes disruption against computers or devices or disable them. Examples of cyber criminals and their motives. These are examples as listed here on the left-hand side, which are examples of cybercrime: phishing, hacking, identity theft, internet fraud and email, theft of card payment or financial, theft or scales of corporate data, ransomware, sorry, denial of service, cyber extortions, cryptojacking, cyber espionage. So what is phishing? This is when they use fake email address to get personal information. That's phishing. Hacking, this is when they access or shut down or misuse website or network or IT system advocating for terrorism related acts. Identity theft, this is when the hacker steals or misuses personal information. Internet fraud or email, this is when the use of email or online messages to scam or dupe victims into sharing their personal data. Theft of card payment or financial. This is when a fraudster gains access to sensitive information regarding their credit card payment. Theft or sales of corporate data. This is when an unauthorized transferred or copying a confidential information or intellectual property from a company network or server or a company to a third-party location. Ransomware. This is a type of malware that locks, encrypts a victim data of files or devices or system, rendering them inaccessible until the attacker receives a ransom payment. We also have denial of service. We also have cyber extortation or extortation. This is basically blackmailing an individual or an organization by threatening to release sensitive data. Sorry, cryptojacking. A criminal secretly uses a victim computer power to generate cryptocurrency. And cyber espionage is when a cyber attack or a cyber spying against a business or a government organization. This example listed here are examples of cyber crimes. And what is the reason for them committing this cybercrime? What is the motive behind this? The motive is to, first of all, is financial gain. The primary focus is for the hackers for making money, and this can be done in a variety of a method way to do that. To steal the By stealing their investment, to gain access to their bank details, stealing their password, their financial assistant, or transferring their asset over to another in a fraudulent way. Second one motivation is recognition and achievement. Some hackers are motivated by sense of achievement that comes with cracking up a major system. Some may work in a groups or independently, but some but for some their mission is would like to be recognized. Another example of the reason for motivated them is insider threat. Individuals who have access to critical information or system can easily choose to misuse uh, organization access or to detrimental to the organization. For example, an internal employee or a vendor or a contractor or a partner can decide to use their privilege of working in the organization to destabilize the company. The next one is political motivation or activism. These are some cyber criminal groups use their hacking skills to go after large organizations. They are usually motivated by a cause of sort, such as highlighting human rights or alerting a large corporate organization to their system vulnerability, or may go against group whose ideology do not align with their own. That's what we mean by political motivation. And state actors, these are state-sponsored actors receiving fund or assistance from a nation state. They are specifically engaged in cybercrime to further their nation's own interests. Example is stealing their intellectual property, personal identifying information, and money to transfer or further espionage or exploitation causes. And the last one is corporate espionage. This form of a cyber attack used to gain an advantage over competing organizations. They conduct is conducted either for commercial or financial purpose or even for corporate espionage, which can involve acquiring properties like processes or techniques or location or customer data or pricing, sales, research, bidding, or strategies. Also, trade a test of trade secret like bribery, blackmailing, or surveillances. So these are the motive behind the cyber crimes. What is the impact of cybercrime to an organization? Increases cost, disruption of operational services, alter business practices, reputational damage, lost revenue, stolen intellectual property. What is the impact of cybercrime to an individual? Financial losses, identifying theft, emotional traumas, reputational damage. What is social engineering? Social engineering refers to the scam used by criminals to deceive or manipulate people's trust to gain control over a computer system or steal personal or financial information. And what are the common tactics used by cyber criminals? The first one is known as phishing. These tactics involve deceptive emails, websites, or text messages to steal information. Malware, these are victims. Victims are tricked into believing that malware is installed on their computer and that if they don't pay, the malware will be removed. Built-in, an online or physical social engineering attack that promises the victim a reward. Pretexting uses a false identity to trick victims into giving up information. And vishing is an urgent voicemail convince victim they need to act quickly to protect themselves from the arrest of other risks. These 5 points here are some of the tactics used by cyber criminals. We have just completed the learning outcome about cyber criminal. To proceed, I would like you guys to scan the QR code or you type in this URL onto your website, enter your full name, and then complete the assessment as requested there. It's very important that you enter your full name, please, to answer these questions. It must not be anonymous. I want your full name. Now that we have finished the presentation, go to the workbook activities in team and complete section A alone. Remember, you must complete this section independently without any support. Avoid copying and pasting from the internet. Learn to type your word directly into the workbook. Use this interactive presentation as your guidance at all times to answer the questions and with other resources as provided to you. Thank you for listening.